Greetings, my peeps! FiOth here, and today is that time of the month. We will be doing a monthly update when it comes to what we will be tackling in July on the channel. Some of you really wanna watch this. I've been getting messages saying what we're gonna be doing in July. What's the stream schedule? What's the cover schedule? What games are coming out? What demos are coming out? What are you gonna show us? And so I was like, it has grown to a point where people wanna get their information from here, and information shall be provided. So, July, plans for the channel, and a recap of June. I'm gonna start with the really positive stuff. So there will be very little editing in this vid because I wanna just sit here, relax, chill with you, and have some energy drinks. Don't worry, it's not granny speech tea, it's just, I think it's a health, something like that. And I don't want to sit in front of the editor for these ones. I want them to come from the heart and be pretty direct, you know, from me to you. June was the biggest month we have ever, and I mean ever, had when it comes to streaming on this channel. No editing shall be done, but I wanted to show you these metrics. My God, man. Lies of P had 1,036 concurrent viewers at some point. We had streams with 70 people, we had streams with 150 people, we had streams with 300 people, we had streams with 500 people. These are numbers that simply didn't happen in the past. I remember about 3 years ago when the DLC for Fire Team Elite dropped, Pathogen, at some point we had 200 something people. Granted, it was probably the biggest stream for the release of the DLC because no one else cared to stream it at that point. But it was 200 something people and I was like ecstatic. I was like, this is pretty good. We were getting good numbers with Fire Team Elite, but it was because it was very niche. It wasn't really competitive and the channel was really small back then. So seeing 1,000 people watching me play Lies of P when channels with 1 million subs get 300 viewers was mind-boggling. You know what I mean? Not throwing shade at anyone. I realized that at some point the algorithm just realized that I'm streaming for 8-9 hours day after day and was like, yeah, we need to push this because it's making us money. It's not like I'm the most talented streamer on the planet. But it paid off. It seems to have paid off. And even with Khazan on our latest stream, we had about 70 plus people watching at peak, and Khazan has lost all its steam at this point. Like, people are tired of Khazan. We had 70 people watching me play Necrophosis and Nicence. One's a game that is very low-key by a Greek indie studio. The other one is a 2014 first-person puzzle and labyrinth runner escape game. It has a legacy, but it's not trending or anything, you know. Someone just suggested it on stream and I played through the entire thing in one sitting. That was a pretty exhausting stream. So the streams have blown up immensely. And that brings me to the 2 points I want to discuss now. First and foremost, Khazan. Khazan was huge for the channel. Khazan is still doing good numbers for the channel. And whenever we get a patch for Khazan, whenever we get a hotfix for Khazan, whenever we get new content for Khazan, I will be here and I'll cover it, okay? But I cannot keep streaming Khazan because people are exhausted and I am exhausted as well. Like, I have literally had messages from people saying, I love the content, I love the streams, but I cannot take any more Khazan, I'm going insane. I was like, yeah, we had to do the hardcore run and we had to complete it. I don't like to leave things half-baked. And yeah, we're gonna give it a rest. We're gonna just let it breathe for a bit until we get new content, and then we'll see how we'll handle said content, because I will not get trapped in another Fire Team Elite situation, guys, and neither do you want me to get trapped, because that means we cannot show other stuff. Rebranding from Fire Team Elite into a variety channel took 2 years of my life, blood, sweat, and tears. So we don't want that to happen. Now, when it comes to how streaming was handled and what kind of content came into the streams, the other point I want to talk about is both the length of these streams and what will be in them. So I've had streams done in the recent past that were like 7, 8, 9 hours long. YouTube does not retain a record of a stream if it's more than 10 hours. Granted, can I play 10 hours straight live? Absolutely. I've done it in the past many times. I did streams of Expedition 33 a month ago that were like 9 hours long, but all I wanted to do with my time at that point was play Expedition 33. The game was a masterpiece. It had absorbed me completely in its world, and I was just enjoying clearing the map whilst talking to you. I didn't want to get all the story bits on the stream because it diminishes the impact, but at least, you know, the cleanups and all those things we could do fine on stream, and the hour situation was a non-issue. But when a game is something I've played a lot, I'm kind of burned out, I don't want to do it all day long, it's very difficult to push out an 8-9 hours stream. Okay, so the next game that can potentially have that effect is Wuchang. And it's coming out by the end of the month. I think it's the 27th. If I cannot secure a code for Wuchang, I will have to play it on the 27th. For you people who are using PCs or Xboxes, it will be on Game Pass day one as well. So Wuchang is a game I will cover to the tits. Okay, guides, streams, boss mechanics and breakdowns and all that. We'll do the whole thing except if the game sucks. If we exclude Wuchang, which is coming out at the end of this month, the only prominent video game that one can play and invest time in July is, of course, Death Stranding 2. And I'm not snobbing Death Stranding or diminishing its worth because you play the FedEx guy. I am, one, not sure if people wanna watch that, and two, I'm not sure if I wanna play that. But I will probably give it a fair shake. I can at least dedicate one stream to it and see how it goes. Because we've reached a point at the life cycle of this channel where risking horrendous numbers during a stream because what you're showing interests no one hurts the entire process, guys. It's an algorithm. There is Skynet behind the scenes and it says, this stream didn't do as well. Maybe we'll take this guy down a notch when it comes to how much exposure we give him, showing the stream to people, that is. If that keeps happening, you're going downhill. And when you collode uphill with bloodied fingers, you don't want to start sliding because someone wanted to watch Barbie Horse Adventures on stream. You know? It's important for this to be understood. Now, since we're in a positive drive right now, we will attempt to experiment with a couple of things incrementally. I want to finish the Bloodborne run that I began with a cane, where half the stream chat says how much the cane sucks, and the rest half is talking about things that are not Bloodborne related, but this is nice social behavior, you know, people talking amongst themselves. And after that run of Bloodborne is done, we don't have to do it in one sitting, of course. I will probably dedicate a stream to Death Stranding, as I said, at some point, and from a recent poll that I've put up, people want to watch some horror stuff. We've been doing horror and survival horror on this channel since forever. It's a staple, and we can and will revisit it. We're not gonna just be doing Souls-likes, but I would really like to visit some Souls-likes that I never touched. Pascal's Wager comes to mind. I dare not touch Code Vein. It's too corny for my liking, but, you know, maybe revisit AI Limit, not a Souls-like, but adjacent. And we can, of course, do completely original stuff. Darktide released a big update, and to be absolutely fair and honest, I didn't touch upon the new update for Darktide because I am clueless at this point about what's happening in Darktide. I've been playing since the beta. I knew what to expect from the game, how to build craft, how to gear craft, all that, and they've changed their mechanics 20 times, and now I'm in the dark. I don't know what to do. And I don't want to on the fly swap abilities and all that and, you know, have to redo everything from scratch. So Wuchang is a big thing we've been waiting for, and it still has a ways to go. Now, it's the dead of summer, and some of you are melting. I totally get that, especially in countries where air conditioning is not a thing. Some of you are in a pretty insufferable state, and I can feel for you because I had been dead poor in the past and I couldn't afford air conditioning, and I was also melting in very bad situations like the heat waves and stuff. I'll try to do my best to alleviate some of the stress, and one thing that I'm gonna work towards with my streams is I'm gonna take not the rage, because I know the rage brings the chuckles and you're enjoying it, so I'm just being expressive, but I don't wanna look like I'm getting actually angry at the game, because there are times when the stream ends and I'm like, dude, I looked so genuinely pissed off at the game. For me, it's just a peak and valley kind of situation, you know. I peak for a second, I speak out some obscenity that people should never have to listen to, and then I'm calm again and I'm chill and I keep going. But sometimes I really seemed disgruntled, I really seemed like I was in a negative space, and that never happens, to be fair with you. What I've been gathering from people in my immediate environment, though, is that my nerves seem to be a little bit on edge. So I wanna bring out a more positive version of myself, so you will be taking in the positivity and relaxing yourselves. I can't start playing Stardew Valley on these streams because that's not what the demographic of the channel wants to watch or what I want to play, to be fair. But we need some positivity, man. The world has gone to shit. Okay. We need the chuckles, we need the shits and giggles, we need the positive energy. You need it, I need it, everyone needs it. So we'll try to bring as much of that as humanly possible, even if the games are violent or, you know, the content is more mature oriented. We have ourselves to be more positive towards the situations, towards each other. I'm gonna focus on that. I gave my beloved my word as well, because it was like, you seem a bit tense, your nerves are a bit tense. I'm like, yeah, because I've been playing all these games that require the utmost concentration. I go to bed exhausted mentally, and then I wake up and I have to do it all over again. I have to chill, you know, and provide a better vibe for you in the process. Has become apparent, and from what you're watching right now, I need to get a professional camera at this point. I need to get a really good camera to be able to record my face, and unboxing vids, reviews maybe, stuff like that. And I will take care of it in the very near future. I will make arrangements. I'm doing some research on the fact. Because, you know, mics are on point at this point. I can record at very high fidelity. Like everything else, apart from doing these wide takes of my face with this camera, is fine. But the camera has to improve. And I had a couple of gestures from people like tipping and doning and saying that, get a camera, bro, like we got you and all that. I'll take care of it, okay? I give you my word. I don't know if it will be during the summer months because, you know, the momentum is a bit low, but by autumn, the latest, I'll take care of it. Ideally, it would be a Black Friday kind of situation, but that's ways off. So I'll keep my eye out for discounts and stuff like that. And I would really like you to listen to me for 2 minutes. I have to do the call to arms. I have to again explain why it's important to have your support in this endeavor. I've been doing numbers in the past, showing like how you donate €5 in a super chat and I get 2.7 of those euros, and then I get taxed on top of that and end up with pretty much balls. Patreon is the best way to support the work, guys, if you appreciate the work. Okay, if you are a person who is around, mingling in this channel, has gotten value out of this channel, you are the only people I'm saying this to, the people who get value out of my blood, sweat and tears. It takes a lot of effort to keep it to the level it is right now, and the hours and the morale required to go after this kind of consistency, you know? So you can sacrifice the cost of a coffee on Patreon to support this and keep it viable so you will be able to enjoy it. It is as simple as that. Helping it means it'll be here. God forbid, good, it becomes non-viable and it can't be here because some of you, I think, will miss it. You know what I mean? Because to keep improving things, to keep things sustainable, they need the support of you, the demographic. The platform, the corpus, all of that takes a huge cut out of the box. I know it's ease of access to say, here's a super chat. Click. They take 60% of that after everything's said and done. 60% of what you want to give me because you like me goes to some CEO's pockets. That is not ideal, as you probably understand. So, Patreon is the biggest help and it's super affordable. I made sure of that. It also gives you some nice perks. So consider that. As a closing remark, I want to focus on the fact that many of you don't even know that I'm using social platforms, and I'm not using them as religiously as other channels, but they help with metrics. So, in the description of this vid, you will see everything. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. I also stream on Twitch and I always have drops open for games that support drops, so you can watch there and get your drops. Please go and follow them. It's free. Raise those numbers because some platforms that provide keys and gear and stuff like that take metrics from those things, and we want to have them available as well. Okay? Now, I will remind you that the sponsored streams are a thing still. You can discuss with me directly that you want a game of your choosing to be streamed. We can make sure the stream will be worthwhile, and we can stream a game of your choice. You can reach out to me directly on Discord, ideally. So all these things considered, beside the fact that stream seems to be taking off, will put us in a pretty good place. I never wanted to be a rich guy. I wanted to be a guy who lives comfortably, to have the energy to provide to you what you want to watch. Okay? Because, guys, I gonna be fair. I always want to bring full transparency. You know how many people have come to me in the past and still come to me that have been following the channel for years, and they speak to me about their woes, and I'm always open and encourage you to do that. A person will come into my inbox that I've known for 3 years since I started doing this, and they've been consistently chatting me up whenever they have a problem and have never contributed a cent to the channel. That's not a quid pro quo to me. I listen to any individual who has an issue because I care about people in general, unless they're toxic twats. But never trying to counter-contribute anything means like you're a taker. You're there to take as much for yourself, alleviate yourself, like taking a shit on the other person's goodwill because no one is forcing you to give anything back. Giving back is not about being forced to do it. We're not running Netflix here. We're running a community and we just want to keep its lights on. So if this whole hustle we have running here is something that has improved your life even by a small margin, gives you something to watch and enjoy, everyone can get a coffee out of their schedule to keep it afloat. So thank you so much. Tonight, if you're watching this on the 2nd of July, we'll be probably doing Bloodborne. We'll try to wrap this run up. And if you have any ideas or suggestions or whatever, you drop them into our Discord or any of the comment sections, and I will read everything, reply to everything as I always do, and take under consideration. The socials, please. Patreon. Pretty much everyone can afford the lowest tiers if that's the limit you can go to. And care about your fellow human beings. Don't be takers. Give back to the people who give something to you and add to your quality of life. Until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always have a perfection, peeps. Cheers!